Hey everyone, welcome to MT Guitar. Today we're going to go through the pentatonic portal. So this is going to be a journey through the pentatonic, through the fretboard. Major, minor, major, starting from the top, turning upside down. We're going to take something you probably already know, or are familiar with at least, and take that as a starting place for something else, right? We're going to use it as a portal, almost like a wormhole, if you will, to another scale, sometimes to another key, in many cases to another position as well. It's really mind-blowing, even for me, who I've been doing this for 20 years, well, more than 20 actually, 23 as far as playing the pentatonic scales. But I've been teaching it for about 15 years, and there's always sort of new methods I'm finding to explaining it. And I've come up with some pretty interesting ideas and a certain maybe way of thinking about it that might be really helpful, just for finding any major or minor pentatonic scale in any area of the neck. And what's really cool about this method is we're going to take something you might be already familiar with and build from there, so you don't have to kind of start from scratch, necessarily. So let's say you're familiar with the A minor pentatonic. We're going to go through a little bit of a journey where we take it step by step, and you'll see how you can take something you know and move it from there. So first off, let's warm up on an A minor pentatonic a little bit. I'm on acoustic, so I'm not going to be bending too much, although I like to bend, so you could, but I'm going to kind of keep it more beginner/intermediate friendly so that you don't have to be doing crazy bends on an acoustic to do this workout. Everything I'm teaching here can be done on electric. So let's start with taking this scale and turning it upside down. We're going to take a little bit of a different approach to all these scales. So I'm going to start from the bottom all the way to the top of the scale. And then I'm going to take the high E string and say, that's my starting place. Turn it upside down. We've turned this scale upside down. Now that's the starting note. And I work my way down. Down from here. I'm going to do a little pattern. I'm going to go down 4 notes using a little pull off here. Then down 4 notes from the next note down. And you'll find that that is very useful vocabulary as opposed to always starting from the bass. So we're starting from the top, turning it upside down. Okay? So that's the first step. Next step is we're going to say, what's the second note of this scale? It's C, right? The second note of the minor pentatonic is C. So now I have C major, okay, C major pentatonic. Same notes from C to C, 8th fret to 8th fret. Now we're going to turn that upside down. Now the C is the starting note of C major. Okay, you might be saying, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is we can turn that C major into an A major by going down 3 frets. Remember, we started with A minor, so here's A minor, turned upside down. Here's A major, turned upside down. Okay, now I'm not going to say I coined this term, but I think John Mayer said that that's the equator. Index, minor. Pinky, major. In this case. I think he did a little Instagram post, so I'll credit him with that. And it's a really good idea, right? Minor, index on the A, the high A. I'm going to coin my idea of starting on the high E. I don't think he said that, so there's my originality with this specific thing. Turning it upside down. Now we have A minor. Now, high A note, high E string on the A note. Pinky, major. So let's say I'm going in a bluesy thing. Nice and slow blues. Turn my A minor pentatonic upside down. And I want to now switch it up with major. Back to minor. Then major. Minor. Major. Okay, so I went from A minor to C major to A major by moving down. Now let's look at it from the bass. I've got A minor. I've got C major. A to A or C to C. Let's do a pentatonic portal here and move to A major on the bass. That's taking the C major, the second note of the A minor pentatonic, moving it down 3 frets. So, index finger, minor. Pinky, A major. Both really great over in A blues. Okay, now that's a good trick. That's a really good trick. But does that really get us with fluidity in all positions? Of course not. That's one step along the way. Let's take another step. What if we want to get to the next position of either A minor or A major? Well, we have to pick one. So we're starting with minor in this. So this is position 1, or the E minor shape of A minor, right? This position here. Let's go to the second position by putting our index on the next A. That's how we get to the next position, in case you didn't know. You take that octave, 2 strings, 2 frets apart, right? Replace it with the index, just switching fingers. A little bit of a dance with the guitar. That's what we're doing with the fretboard. Okay, there we go. Now I have the next position of A minor pentatonic. Some consider this an extension of the position 1. If I go like this, if I slide to it, that's also really great. But it's nice to know that position as its standalone position. Okay, so can we take the same logic? And the answer is yes, right? We can. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to start on the second note of the scale, C. That becomes our relative major. Okay, C major pentatonic. You might say, well, I'm in A blues, so I don't really need C major, and I can see the point in that. It doesn't really matter yet. Here's C. So I'm going A to A, C to C. But now our magic trick, right? Music is magic, in my opinion, and we're just uncovering its brilliance. We take that C major and move it down 3 frets. And all of a sudden, we take it down to the bass. We're in position 1 of A major, just like that. So we went to A minor, second position. We went to C major, which is the next note of the scale. We know that those notes go down there as well. We take it down 3 frets. Play the same exact pattern. We take it down to the bass. We now have A major. So, what can we do with that information? Well, we've moved minor pentatonic to major pentatonic. But I had to move 3 frets. So, can we take the first thing we did and the second thing we did and combine them? We have A minor, now A major. How did I get those notes? The second position of A minor went down to here, and that was C major. That's the next note of the A minor pentatonic. We take that down 3 frets, and we move down to the bass. Now we have A major, A minor. Now I can combine it without moving 3 frets. That's the key. That's the portal. The portal took us to the same pattern 3 frets away, but then we needed to go to the next minor position to find that position and move 3 frets. So we're shifting these keys and these scales. Really fascinating stuff. To recap, A minor, A major. It goes from index to middle now. Let's turn these scales upside down. Let's start at the top, high E string, minor pentatonic. Now, it's still index for major. You don't have to change fingers. Okay? We just have to go to ring finger on the G string. Instead of 7th fret, it becomes 6th fret. Minor, major. Okay, so we take this journey and it just keeps going. All right, we keep connecting these positions together. And let me just demonstrate that real quick. If we look at the next position of A minor pentatonic, it just keeps going. It's this. Good. There there it is. Position 3. All right, position 3. Here's our root, 12th fret A string. Okay, warm up in that a little bit. Now, go to the next note. We'll do this. This is the last time. Then we're going to take it a whole different perspective. We go to the next note, which is C. And we say, well, that's C major pentatonic from C to C. Okay? We know by now, right, from our pentatonic portal that we can move this down 3 frets. Instant A major. And now we combine this previous position, A minor pentatonic, to A major pentatonic, current position, down 3 frets. You see that? You see that shift? It's like dimensions are changing here. A blues sounds great. Major, minor. Okay? All right. Now, as long as I have a minor pentatonic position, I can make it major without any new notes. That's the key. And I can go along. You still have to learn all 5 positions of minor pentatonic, right? That's position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5. It's also position 5 starting there. Now, that's a lot, but let's keep going. Maybe save this video for later and you might want to review it a little bit. By the way, there's a full study guide of this on the Patreon that's going to be posting very soon after I post this video. Highly recommend you check that out if you're looking for more videos on theory, tons of songs as well, and study guides and some backing tracks. So please check that out, and a big thank you to all the patrons. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow our subscriber count, get the view time up, so check out some videos and find some ones you like and learn some songs with me here. And I really appreciate your support. Okay, now back to the pentatonic portal. We've kind of covered from minor to major. Let's say it's the other way around. Why do we need to always go from minor to major? Well, we don't. We can go from major to minor. This is a really interesting one because a lot of songs are in the key of a major key. So is it always useful to go from minor to major and then move the major around? Not necessarily the best option sometimes. Sometimes it's best to do the other way around. So let's say I have, G major. Okay, a lot of songs are in G major. Now I'm going to start with the open position, open G. Okay? Open positions, open scales can be a little confusing. So let's understand that that's a G major pentatonic. You might know this one. We'll get here soon. But let's start with the open one. Now, what I can do with any major pentatonic is I can find the relative minor by going 3 frets down. Okay? So I go not even go 3 frets down. I just start 3 frets down. So 3 frets down from 3 is open. Instant E minor pentatonic. Add the blues note. Can never get too good at the open E minor pentatonic, right? Really good place for trills and stuff and slurs and whatnot, and hammer-ons, pull-offs, whatever. And, kind of easy to play because you have the open strings. So, that's great. G major to E minor. Nice little exercise right there. There's G major with the blues note. Then E minor with the blues note. Now, if I say, okay, well, that's great, Mitch, but I thought you were going to teach us the pentatonic portal from G major to G minor. So that's where this comes in. Now we go the opposite process. We move this scale up 3 frets. So I go first to relative minor, play the same notes, E to E, move that up 3 frets. Well, open to 3 means 3rd fret. Okay? 3 frets away from the bass, 2 frets away from the open, 2 frets away from the open. So I'm just moving that pattern, 03, 02, 02, up to 3rd fret, 3, 6. Now this is position 1 of G minor. So let's get the major going. I know this major major pentatonic. Now I compare it with a G minor. Now I have them both in the same spot. That's the portal. So a G blues, start with major pentatonic. Start it upside down. G minor. Start major upside down. G minor. See how we can use this? 5 chord, turn around, back to G. Start with major, upside down. Back up, back upside down. G minor, start at the top. That's my recommendation. Now we're making music that's not only major and minor at this sort of at the same time or back and forth, but we're starting with really juicy notes. Kind of want to start a lot of solos with the treble. If you hear a solo where if you play a solo where you're starting on the bass, going up, and then going down, nothing wrong with that, but it may sound like you're just practicing, right? If you go like this, it's like, okay, well, they're kind of running the scale up and down. So if you start with it upside down, this is where a lot of melodies live. Now the next one's pretty tricky, so follow along. You might have to watch it a couple times. I'll do my best to describe it accurately here. I know the next position of G major pentatonic by going up an octave, right? We just talked about that. I just plot my middle finger here. Here's major. The question is, I already have the ability to play the minor here as well by going like this. I go back to the previous position, move that up 3 frets from 3rd fret to 6th fret, play the same notes. And when I reach the G, there's my G minor root. Same notes as before that I played in the major. So I'm playing the major. There's the pattern. I move it up 3 frets. I find the G. Play the same pattern. Now I compare it with major. Major. Minor. Major. Starting from the top, turning upside down. Minor, turn it upside down. Major, turn it upside down. Go back up. Minor, same thing. See? Whatever direction you want to go in that portal. Up. Up. Major or minor. Down. Turn it upside down. Major or minor. Okay, let's do it one more time because it's a lot. It's very confusing. I know. So now we take the next position of major. That's the first step. G major. So we just did this. There's position 2. Position 3 is here. We know it's here because we follow the octaves. There's our octave. 5 and 8. Put 8 in the index. Find the 5th string octave. It's the C-shape octave. Okay. Now that's my starting note for the major pentatonic. Now I say that's good. My goal is to get the minor pentatonic here. Well, I have the tools to do that with the previous major. Move that up 3 frets. Find my G. It's up there. Again, it starts here. See? Same as this. G major, G minor. Same root. It's just wild. I just love the magic of it. A good tip, another tip here is that the major scale will often start with the middle finger, whereas the minor will often start with the index. Minor, major. Minor. Major. Minor, pinky. Major, pinky. Okay, so sometimes they start with the same finger. So, we're really cracking the code here. How do we find any major or minor pentatonic, not only relative, but in the same key? Now the goal is you'd want to have 5 positions of minor and then move them all to major. You'd want to have 5 positions of major and then move them all to minor. Let me give you 3 exercises you can do to practice this. You're going to go from A minor pentatonic to C major pentatonic to A major pentatonic by moving 3 frets down. Okay? Then you're going to go to A major pentatonic, A minor pentatonic, position 2. Make it C major by starting on the 2nd note. Move that down 3 frets, A major position 1. Compare it with A minor position 1, A major position 1. Start both scales upside down, A minor, A major, A minor, both up and down, A major. You can bend that 2nd note of the major really easily. Okay, so second exercise would be we go from G major pentatonic, open, to E minor by going to the note next note down, right here, E minor. Move that up 3 frets to find our parallel G minor. G minor, we moved open 3 to 3/6. Now that becomes a comparable area, minor. First position of G major. Right? And then the exercise is go to the lowest to the 6th note of the scale, or the 6th scale degree, or E. So we can't go 3 frets lower here, so we have to find the E here. Now we move that up 3 frets. There's G minor up there. Okay? G major, G minor, G minor. All right, that's the second exercise. All right, third exercise is kind of just a fun highway. You can take your E minor and slide up to your, way up here to your 3rd position. Open position is 1. And then, you're still in position 1. Here's position 2, but we're going to slide up to our box. If we start, instead of the 3rd fret, if we start on G, we're in G major. Same thing applies. G to G. E to E. G to G. I can do the same thing here. I'm going to do E minor. Slide up. The 4th to 5th scale degree. Then I'm in my box. Or G. Just start on the 2nd note of that phrase and slide up your 2nd note to the 3rd scale degree. Go to G. So we have E, G. We can do this again. One more time. E minor. Slide 4 to 5 scale degree. Complete the box. Then we start on the 2nd note, which is G. We do the same thing until we reach a G. We might have to slide up to a really high spot. So if you're on an acoustic without a cutaway, it might be difficult. But there it would be. We can go all the way down. I'm thinking of that as E minor. Here's G major. So that's more of a quick highway and really fun. I think that does it. That's a lot to chew on for one video. So try that out. Let me know if there's questions. I'm happy to clear things up. And you can also join the Patreon and give me a direct message there. And I hope this is helpful. I hope it's fun, and if you can make music without a backing track doing this, then you're in a really good spot. And you'd kind of want to make that a goal. Can I just sit down with these pentatonics? No backing tracks necessary, no loops necessary, don't even need to plug in ideally. And if you can just make music with an acoustic guitar with these scales, then when you use all these tools, all these great tools, life is so much easier. So I hope that makes sense and that's helpful and it's enjoyable. There you go. Have a good day, everyone. Talk to you later.